Here I come to save the day. We got a good topic today, man. I just want to go into a couple things. I got two topics for you, actually. The first one, Jake Paul got a lot of heart, y'all. Jake Paul got a lot of heart. I don't know if y'all seen that fight between him and Anthony Joshua on the weekend. Matter of fact, let me go into something right quick. I'm just going to give you some pictures real quick. Don't mind me. Check this out, y'all. I don't know if y'all know who this is. Nate Diaz was an awesome MMA fighter. Tyrone Woodley, awesome MMA fighter. Champion, actually. These guys are champions. Anderson Silva, champion. And y'all know who that is. Mike Tyson, Kid Dynamite, Iron Mike. Now, I brought this stuff up for a reason. Most people wouldn't even get in there with him. I think with this fight that, you know, Jake Paul just had, it was his 11th professional fight. 11, that's not many. But for him to get in the ring and challenge some of these great athletes, world-class champions, you know, at the time I don't think he had fought anybody that was, still active because they was exhibitions. And a lot of times professional fighters that's active in the sport that they in don't like to do exhibitions. But he did. And I think he had lost one fight. But like I said, that man got a lot of heart because he went in there. Matter of fact, let me do something right quick. I'm going to show y'all who this guy actually is, this Anthony Joshua guy. I'm going to show you. Way better than I could tell you. Let's get to this. Let's get to it. Hold on. All right, these are just some highlights from the fight that came on the other day on Netflix. You can see how big that dude Anthony Joshua is. Not only did he outclass this man when it comes to fighting his skill set, but he also was, David and Goliath over this man. He was a giant. And he was a tremendous underdog. Like, Anthony Joshua, he's a knockout artist. I don't know about his technical footwork, but he's getting better and better and better. But he a dog. He a dog. And I just want to get to this almost the end of the fight right here. This almost the end of the fight. You see how he got his mouth open, sticking his tongue out. He was hanging in there. Ooh wee. Did y'all see that? Ooh wee. Alright. Did y'all see that? That's crazy. I actually think he broke the man's jaw with that jaw. He broke his jaw in two places. And I think a lot of that might have came from him having his tongue hanging out his mouth. That's a definite no-no. You ain't tense, your jaw ain't tight, and you talking and, you get hit in your mouth like that with your mouth still open, that'll tear your jaw up. And at the end of the fight, he said it himself. He was like, man, I think my jaw broke. And you could hear he had a little lisp like, my jaw broke. I think my jaw broke. And sure enough, I think they showed the x-rays. It's broke bad, compound fracture on one side, and I think it's a fracture on the other side. So he kind of shifted that man like a typewriter. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I was hoping that man won. I was sitting there watching the fight, and Joshua, his footwork wasn't good, man. And early on in the fight, I think they went a whole round. Ain't there one of them land a punch. The first round, I think maybe Jake Paul was the only person to land a punch. It got to the third round. I think it was a toss up. Fourth round, Jake Paul fell on the ground and Joshua was kind of frustrated, so he was still punching him in his back. So they took points from him. So I think at the fourth round it might have been 2-1, maybe 3-1, 2-1 at least. I think 2-1. I think at the third round, fourth round it may have been 3-1 because I only gave Joshua one round. 3-1. Fifth round, maybe 3-2. Sixth round, block out. He knocked that man block off, hit that man kind of hard, cleaned his clock. And like I said, it was an 8-round fight, 3-minute rounds. And, the rounds seemed like they was over before they started. So, Joshua, he couldn't really get into a rhythm. But due to all the running and trying to avoid the power, Jake Paul wound up getting tired. You could see him. You could see his legs won't, he won't bouncing around as much. He was staying still a little bit too long. He was real sweaty. And Anthony Joshua, he looked like he won't even, he won't even phase. I don't even think he had broke a sweat at this point. And he couldn't last the whole 2 rounds that he had left because it was an 8-round match. And I think he said it himself. If he would have had a little bit more cardio, had his wind up a little bit more, maybe he could have lasted. And, I wish he would have because I would have loved to see him beat Anthony Joshua. Because to myself, I was already disappointed in Joshua because he let Andy Ruiz knock him out. Andy Ruiz, he hadn't even been fighting all the way through. I think they called him up to replace somebody else. And Andy Ruiz caught him with an overhand right. And I don't know if you seen it in them highlights. Jake Paul caught him with the same overhand right, but he ain't had that size and that power, and it ain't had the same impact, but he had a good strategy. And I think if he would have had his cardio up a little bit more, man, they should just run it back. They should run it back because they were saying that's the most money Anthony Joshua made. That's his biggest purse as of yet. Jake Paul got that bag. And, I don't know. Like, man, he should have ran that thing back, man. Get that man a chance to redeem himself. Because I think Jake Paul could beat him. That man got hot. And when you got hot, man, you open up the doors, man. Anything can happen, man. Anything can happen. And I think that was Jake Paul's first fight with a real fighter like that. So, experience is the best teacher. You can't replace experience. You can't sit there and say what you woulda, coulda. It's hard to train until you get in there and you get that real experience. So now that he done fought a real fighter, I think if they was to run it back, man, I think Jake Paul would beat that man. And for real, boxing dead. Boxing dead anyway. So Anthony Joshua should want to fight that man. That's where the bag at. It ain't like you. Like you already done got knocked out. You already done got whooped. So it ain't like nobody respect you like you undefeated in that, man. We want to be entertained. And right now, Jake Paul is the best entertainer in that combat sports right now. He the hottest thing smoking. He the hottest thing smoking right now. So, I just want to throw that out there. Oh, man. I got a haircut this week. I skipped like 2 weeks. I skipped 2 weeks of haircuts. And, sometimes I'll be on the grind or I'll be, stuck in my ways. And I'll be like, man, I don't care about no haircut. But then, when I went to the barber shop, that's Elite Pros. I ain't even got on my sweatshirt. Hold on. Here it go. Y'all. I don't know if y'all can see that. Elite's Pro Barber Shop right there on 368 Demi Boulevard. Y'all see that? Right there. Elite's Pro Barber Shop, 368 Demi Boulevard, Newport News, Virginia. You see the number, 757-831-1102. They do walk-ins and everything. So you ain't even got to have no appointment. And I went in there, and it was like I charged up like a Tesla. I charged up. You know, I ain't even know I needed that camaraderie. I ain't even know I needed a haircut that bad. Until when I got up in that joint, man, I sat down in the chair. When I got up, man, I felt like new money, like $100 bills. And I thanked that man. You know, I ain't have enough money to tip him at the time because, you know, it's tight right now, Christmas and all that. And it feel like, you know, the squeeze is on, like money getting real tight and funny. But I just let him know, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Before he was in there, you know, I was talking to his son, Mook. He had me dying laughing. You know, just that, I don't know if y'all have ever been to a barber shop like this one. But, man, you know, they got the two TVs in there, flat screens up top. You know, they usually got, you know, all types, ages up in there. And the conversation is like a full spectrum. It's diverse. So we was in there, we was talking about the fight. We was talking about Trump. We was talking about, you know, the economy. Just talk about our life. And man, it was like a recharge because, you know, sometimes you could get in your own little, you could get in your own way. You could get so isolated that you just be, you know, you got the blinders on, you got tunnel vision, and you don't even look up. But sometimes you need fellowship. You need fellowship. So I just wanted to give a shout out to my barber, man. I appreciate him. He got me looking good. He like that. So if y'all ever want to cut, y'all in the Newport News, you know, Hampton Roads area, Williamsburg, anywhere like in this vicinity, man, y'all check him out. That's Elite Pro Barbershop on 368 Dimmy Boulevard. But I'm about to wrap it up. I just wanted to get into that, man. Give a shout out to my barber and give a shout out to Jake Paul. If you out there, Jake Paul, I would love to talk to you. I know you might not want to come on this small platform, but I would love to talk to you, chop it up with you, because, man, for the looks of it, man, like, he doing the most right now. He doing it the biggest right now. Like, he the one that got the bag. He changing up combat sports as we know it, because for real, boxing done fell off. He done brought it back. So with that, I'm about to wrap it up, man. Y'all know what this is, man. It's Let's Get To It, and that's a to it with a U. Because I always got you in mind, so keep that in mind. And y'all know how I like to do. I like to say, here we go again. But I might switch it up to Here I Come to Save the Day. I'm out of here, y'all.